This is the Oklahoma Talking Company. Welcome to Activate Your Strengths with Rhonda Boyle. StrengthsFinder 2.0 is an analytical assessment created by Gallup Corporation, and many people today are using it to change their lives, improve their relationships, and enhance their work experience. This is the podcast where we explore using your natural talents and gifts in your personal and professional development. And now, here's your host, Rhonda Boyle.
Hey, everybody. This is Rhonda Boyle, and welcome to the Activate Your Strengths show. Jason Baffrey, I can't wait for you to meet our guest.
You are, in fact, more excited than usual today, Rhonda. I am impressed.
I really am. Oh, my gosh. We get to go inside the brilliant brain of this person sitting across from me who I can't wait to introduce. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about her. She is the founder and CEO of Coach, Speak, and Serve, and she's also the creator of Women Recharged. She is the author of Confessions of an Independent Woman and several other collaborative anthologies. She's originally from Mobile, Alabama, but she lives now in Norman, Oklahoma. Welcome, Aprille Frankshunt.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Oh my gosh, I am pumped. I'm over here like doing a little jazz because I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
So we always start off finding out what your top 5 talents are. Now, just to get everybody on board, Gallup Strengths Finder 2.0 is the test that we use in our work with Activate Your Strengths. And so there are 34 talent themes.
Yes.
You have all 34. I have all 34. Mm-hmm. And Jason right here has all 34.
Yes.
But you have 5 that are in dominance that are different from me. So tell us what your top 5 are.
Absolutely. So my top strengths are strategic, which I just love that's my number one thing. Woo, futurist, achiever, and activator.
Yeah, futuristic, yes. Okay, so let me ask you this. We'd like to start off with this because, come on. You've taken how many personality tests?
I've taken a lot.
A lot of them, right? Mm-hmm. But this one is different because it's a talent test,
yes,
not a personality test.
Absolutely.
Your personality has a lot to do with it, and it manifests the talents manifest through your personality. But what's different about this test?
I think what's different about the Strength Finders is, you have the opportunity to really delve into what is good in you. And what it did for me was it was like confirmation or an aha that, said, okay, well, this makes sense. This is why I'm great over here and I'm not so great over here.
Exactly.
So it was this confirmation, and it let me kind of put my guard down or my overcritical self-analysis button, to kind of just let that go so that I knew that, okay, this is why I'm so great at this. So why don't I focus on where I'm really great and fill in the gaps with other people who are great at what they're great at.
That's it. And you bring up a great point, and that's we're all so critical about what we cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
If we can go all in on what we can do, oh my gosh, that's where our power lies.
Absolutely.
What we like to say is, I know who I am, I know who I'm not, and both are okay.
That's right.
Yeah. So
love
let's start out talking about your strategic. That's your number one. You're quite proud of it. And rightly so, I might add, although, all talents are valuable.
Yes.
So there is not one talent that's better than the other. It's just you know how to use yours
Absolutely.
well, and you love it.
I do love it.
People who are high in strategic see the path. They instantly are presented with a problem or somewhere that they want to go, or they're looking for a solution, and they instantly can see the way to go.
Yes.
Yeah. And so tell me how that looks in your life.
So for me, the way that shows up is it shows up definitely in what I do and working with my clients who are purpose-driven entrepreneurs who have something that they want to talk about that comes from a pain, a passion, or something that's in them. And for me, the strategic part, I kind of say my brain is like a transformer.
Yeah.
So when people are sharing information with me, when my clients are sharing information with me, I'm literally really breaking down what they're saying so that it can make sense on how they can accomplish X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, you're creating steps out of it.
I'm creating steps.
Translating.
I mean, literally in process. As they're talking and sharing, I'm already in my mind creating a strategy that I believe will work for them.
Yeah, so it's not something you have to go back and think about, and you although there may be more thinking.
I'm very good on the cuff because I'm downloading information as it's given to me.
Right, and it's sort of live that you see the way to go.
Absolutely.
And do you see pitfalls too? Like, don't go that way.
I don't really see pitfalls. I just see the best way.
You see the best way.
Based on what they're sharing.
Yeah. So you mentioned to me that it feels for you like it's a prophetic gift.
It is a prophetic gift. Yeah, I do believe that it is a prophetic gift.
Yeah.
And I was sharing, in another conversation with you, just how throughout my entire life, I've been able to see things in other people and for myself. And I really believe in the power of positive thought and manifesting your own life.
Right.
And I believe that that we can all manifest good and bad things into our lives, whether
Absolutely.
it's people, opportunities, or what have you. And for myself, it's so important because everything that I've wanted to happen in my life has happened. Every single thing.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing and scary at the same time. And it's so funny. One of my girlfriends, Sunita Wells, we talk all the time, and she's like, "Can we please write this down? Can we please write it down because it's happening?" And I joke that I wish I could come up with the lottery numbers. Right?
Yeah. Like, now, why can't you?
Well, I really think it's an energy exchange. That I
so
have
you
with
need another person.
With another human.
Yeah.
And to be
That's
able
amazing.
to connect with them, to touch them, because I'm a toucher too.
Yeah.
And to really talk with them. So it keeps me very busy and successful in what I do because my clients achieve results.
Yeah, I know that. I've seen that. I've seen you in action, and I've known you since I moved here. So,
that's
been awesome. Now, the next talent that you have, your number 2, is futuristic.
Yes.
And I know, look, you're just so love yourself, and I love that about
I know,
you.
right?
I love that about your talents.
Team
that you love them.
yourself.
That's right. Well, now here's something kind of interesting about strategic, and I don't know if you realize this, but only 11% of people out of almost 13 million now at the time of this recording, 11% have this talent high in their top 5.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
It makes so much sense, Rhonda.
So, well, and what it means is that 89 out of 100 people that you sit across from, they can't see.
Yeah.
They're absolutely in the dark. But what you get to do and your mission in life is to cast a vision for them.
It's
right?
awesome.
So that they can see. So here's a question for you. Do you see in color? Like living color?
Yes, I do.
Or is it shadowy? Because
listen,
I have talent envy. I'm just going to be frank with you. It's my number 14. I wish it was higher. Sometimes I see things clearly, but most of the time I really don't. It's like a shadow, something like hazy out there.
I see in living color.
Living color.
Yep, in frames.
Yeah, you mentioned that it was like a movie.
Yeah.
So you literally see, do the frames speed past like a movie?
Yes.
Can you stop them? And look at one frame? Like, can you?
No.
Mm-mm. Can you now?
It's like a time lapse. Mm-hmm. A time lapse, and things are moving very quickly. And most people don't know this about me, and so this isn't a conversation that I normally have.
I know we're getting in your brain.
Well, I'm excited about it because I think it's awesome, and it's confirmation for probably so many people that are listening for themselves as well on why they're great at certain things. So for me, the futuristic piece really plays well with the strategic piece because
they work hand in hand.
Yes, I can totally predict success as long as a person is willing to do the work.
Right. So you mentioned when we talked that sometimes your clients try to rush you through your process.
Yes, they do.
And that doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Well, yeah, because if it's a movie that it
has to play out.
And you're seeing it kind of live streaming, if you will.
It has to play out because, I think one of the things that I want people to understand is I believe there's this divine something that happens within our lives. And then I also believe that we evolve. So there's other people involved, other people's strengths involved in a person's success.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't ever do anything great alone.
Absolutely not. And I think that when you try to force things, it really disrupts what the success you could have had.
Yeah, that energy, something that goes in there and stops
because
it.
you're interrupting what is supposed to be a harmonious thing, I believe. And it's just what I've seen. So the futuristic piece, I'm happy to have that because I really can kind of foresee. And even when I tell my clients, I don't think that's a good decision. And if they make it anyway, I'm always right.
Always.
And I wish I wasn't, but I am.
Yeah, but they can't see it.
They can't see it.
You know, it's one of those things where with strategic and futuristic also, you need to be trusted.
Yes.
That you know and can see.
Yes.
It's like a seeing sort of thing. This is why you call it prophetic.
Yeah.
And that we can't.
Yeah.
So my strategic's 13, so it's not high enough really. I mean, it is. It's still sort of in my wheelhouse, but it's nowhere near as strong as yours. But when you are talking to someone who is low in futuristic and strategic, it's sort of like asking them to go in the dark naked.
Is. And they're afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
they're
they
most
cannot
of the times
see
afraid.
it.
And they just and that's why I enjoy building relationships, because I realize that in what I do, people have to really trust me in the process.
Well, and that's exactly right, because in order to be trusted, you have to have a relationship and you also have to have a track record.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But that futuristic piece, I mean, how far in the future does it, I know it doesn't only work in your business. Like, do you see futuristic things that happen elsewhere in the world? You're seeing things 20 years in advance.
And it's sometimes it's a sad thing. Because
like you're seeing a negative.
Right. Well, it's not necessarily, I don't consider things a negative. I just consider everything
you
is
see
an
things not
experience.
working.
I don't call it not working. It's just is.
It just is.
You know what I'm saying? It just is. So I see things evolve into something else. And so where you think for instance, where you think you may be at a certain job for your whole life, chances are you're probably not going to. But it's deeper than that for me. So
sure. And so do a lot of people.
I mean, I've had things that I've thought 17 years ago that are manifesting now.
Right. Are people skeptical?
No.
Like, do you get pushback like, oh, that's not going to happen?
What's not going to? No,
whatever it is that you see.
In regards to I don't normally share this. So in regards to business with my clients, typically no. My clients are very trusting of me because I really have their best interest at heart. I'm very committed to them and their success, and I don't let a lot of things disrupt my process for helping them. Right. And they know that. So I don't really get a whole lot of pushback. But occasionally, people have negative self-chatter, and sometimes that gets in the way of the coaching process.
Sure. But sometimes also it may be hard for you to articulate to them in a way that they understand. Because remember, they can't see, so they're blind.
Well, and here's a great thing that I had, and many of you may not know this, especially if you're just coming in contact with me, is that I had the pleasure of teaching blind adults strategic business planning for 2 years.
Wow.
Through the Oklahoma Department of Rehab Services, through a contract that MetroTech had. And so I adjunct and taught blind adults how to build business plans, run businesses, about cash flow, on human resources, marketing communications, and all of those things. And it's because one of the things I learned from them was you don't have to have sight in order to have vision.
True.
Right? It just comes from within. And so in teaching them and working with them, it really taught me how to communicate with people even if they can't see what I'm saying.
Right. That's amazing.
It was a great experience.
I bet. And it just sharpened your skill even
it really
more.
did. And I can give you an example too. When I was teaching them break even points about money, right? I actually took a manila folder and I took a piece of paper and all the raised pieces, so the 3D pieces that I created were, the months, the money, and the break-even line, and then another point in the money. And they were able to feel that. So I was able to, help them feel and understand that, okay, this is what this is. These are what these points feel like, and this is what they represent. And that just helped me tremendously in saying, okay, well, they can't see, but how can I help them see it?
Yeah. That's incredible. Well, and you keep mentioning your relationships.
Yes.
And so this goes into your third talent, which is woo.
Woo.
Woo-hoo. I got me some woo too, girl. So woo stands for winning others over. And I just have to say, we have bragging rights, girl.
We do.
Yeah, because this is the only talent that's an acronym.
Hey.
So people with woo love to be around people. And they have incredible energy, like big energy. People know when you walk in the room.
Yes.
Yes, they do. And you love people, don't you?
Oh my gosh. Yes, I do love people.
Yeah. So tell me but you don't really do traditional networking. Like you're not at the business after hours very often anymore. You don't go to the chamber events very often. Mm-mm. So how are you getting your people? Because guess what? You need people. This is not just that you love people.
Right.
You actually get your energy
from people. And
it's necessary that you have people all the time around you. In fact, you need new people every day.
Yes.
How do you find them?
So they find me.
They find you.
By me being obedient and making myself visible and sharing content that people can use in their lives and businesses. And I really love creating social networks that bridge beyond the social landscape so that I can connect with people in real life. It's not that I don't do the traditional networking events, but what I find is the people at traditional networking events more often than not want to sell you. And that's not what I'm about.
Oh, yeah.
That's not my style. I don't appreciate, and it doesn't feel good when I know that people just want to sell me, because that's not how I operate.
Sure.
So if the only thing that you can talk about is what do I do or what you do and how I can buy your latest whatever you're doing,
your widget,
I'm totally turned off.
Yeah.
And I shut that out. So
right.
I don't participate. And for me, it's just about getting to know a person, because what I understand is that when you really get to know a person, you get to be a part of their whole life experience and not just a transaction.
Exactly.
And I don't want to be a transaction in the lives of the people that I come in contact with.
Yeah, I think you called this relationship marketing.
Yes.
And so your woo really facilitates that very well.
It does.
Because you're looking for that spark of connection.
For the spark of connection.
And you're also a big connector.
I am a big connector. I love it.
Well, sometimes people aren't for you. Like you meet people and they can't be your clients. So what do you do with them?
So, first of all, you have to appreciate everyone in who they are, right? I think we should. And understanding that as a business owner or whatever it is that you're doing, everyone is not for what you have necessarily.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they don't appreciate or respect you as an individual. It just means that you're not the one.
Right. And it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them in working with you either. There's just not a fit.
Absolutely not. And I run into people that I don't want to work with. And there's people that don't want to work with me. And there's other options that best suit them so that they can have a full experience. So I think when you're connected to a human's full experience as opposed to your own ulterior motives for success, then the landscape looks different. So then that's why people still even support me. Right. Even though they may not have worked with me, they still may appreciate or respect me.
Sure. Because what you are is you're a conduit for connections for other people.
I am.
So you just kind of pick them up and then you move them over here.
I've connected so many people. There has been so many collaborations all over the world as a result of me linking a person with a person. And it runs so deep, I wish I knew how deep it ran. Because I hear the stories. People contact me all the time and they're like, oh my goodness, you connected me with so-and-so and now we're doing this. Or you connected me with so-and-so and now we're doing this. And it really works. So when people, and it's a selfless thing, like, at some point you have to be selfless in your journey to success and whatever that looks like for you. Right. And for me, because some people think, quite frankly, some people think I'm a little itchy, with a B on the front. And not sure what all we can say on this show.
Is this a children's show?
I'm gonna keep this
we
clean.
need to keep it clean and safe, don't we, Jason Beffrey?
But I just wanted to share that, I'm just focused and I'm committed to who I'm serving. And anything that
they take priority.
they have to take priority.
Exactly.
Because anything that gets in the way of that is distracting me from focusing on helping them.
So it's far better for you to take this person that's not for you and shift them over here where they can find what they need.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You had mentioned that you win no matter what.
I win no matter what. It's not a loss.
Exactly.
You don't have to work with me for me to be friends with you.
Exactly.
And you don't have to spend money with me for you to be a success.
Yes. Wonderful.
So
let's talk about your fourth talent, which is activator. Activators jump in and they start things. I think you mentioned something about a parachute.
Yes. So I love being an activator. And it's funny because the people that are joining us live, it's funny because they know that I start things, I activate things, and I build a parachute on the way down. I'm not over planning, because what I find is that, and the reason why I don't over plan is because I'm not connected to perfection.
Wow.
So it doesn't have to be perfect for it to be good.
Yeah.
Or great
Sure.
or impactful. I did a mission trip with my mastermind recently, just a month ago in Jamaica, and it was awesome. And it wasn't, we literally didn't start planning it really until like 10 days before. And we were able to go to another country and make a huge impact in the lives of girls that were saved from sex trafficking.
Wow.
So
you just jumped right in.
Just jump in. Just do it. Otherwise...
Sometimes, sometimes though, activators leave a trail. Okay, so I'm an activator too. And we're a little messy. Sometimes.
So sometimes we start stuff.
Yes.
And historically or maybe typically maybe not finish it, but I'm a finisher because I'm committed to
it
finishing.
Gets done no matter what.
It's going to get done no matter what. Mm-hmm. And then I realized too the importance of having a team. Mm-hmm. I've been in my business for several years, and I would rather hire staff than pay myself a salary.
Sure. Because it just keeps you on track.
Because it keeps me on track, and I would prefer to see us all win.
Right.
Right.
So sometimes this activator you mentioned gets you a little overcommitted.
Yes.
Although I'm going to tell you, it's in combination with your next talent, your number 5, which is achiever. Mm-hmm. Achievers can overcommit.
Yes.
Because all you want with your achiever is to be busy and productive and get stuff done.
Well, my thing is I just want to do more all the time.
Right.
Like there's no limit. I want more of everything. I want more success, more love, more impact, more money. I want more. And it's an innate thing. It's not that I'm just... because I'm not materialistic at all. Like I'm still driving my same old car I had. I still have the same old car I had when I made my first 6 figures, like in 2008. I still have that car.
Yeah.
I'm not materialistic, but I want more because I realize that there's an opportunity for more.
Yes.
So I do.
Well, and you see it.
Yes, and I do see it. And then I do overcommit, but I still do it.
Right. You still get it done.
So I accepted that this is who I am.
Yeah. Well, and this is your achiever that likes to get things done. You have a very high work ethic.
I do.
People with achiever, man, you guys get stuff done. I mean, you're busy bees. You are the busy bees of life.
Yes, we are.
So when you tell people that you don't have time for this, that, or the other, you really don't have time.
No, I really don't have time.
No, because every bit of your time is allotted for and spoken for already.
It is.
You've got to plan well in advance.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because someone's reached out to me just recently and they said, I'd love to do this thing. And it was next week. It's like the next week. I was like, well, I can't do that. My schedule's booked out for 90 days. Mm-hmm. Like I cannot possibly do what you're asking me to do tomorrow.
Yes.
Unless we already have a relationship.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because then when you have relationships with people, you're more willing to make adjustments.
Right.
Or move things around. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, it's like, I can't do that.
But if it was a big opportunity that was very impactful, your activator might actually jump in.
My activator might jump in.
Yeah, could be.
But I would still find a way to serve the other person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So achievers are Santa Claus was an achiever. Because, he delivered all those Christmas packages in one day, and he had his little checklist.
Yes, he did.
And achievers love to keep themselves on task with a checklist. How do you do that? Because you really don't keep a checklist traditionally, do you?
I don't really keep a traditional checklist. I keep a little notebook.
Yeah, it's orange, you said.
That is orange. Shout out to Blog Her.
There you go, Blog Her.
And so I keep a little notebook. I don't really keep a to-do list in the sense of the traditional to-do list, but I kind of do. And
it's really your calendar, isn't it?
It is my calendar, and I keep everything in the computer.
Yeah.
So either in our productivity management system we use, which is Workboard, or in my calendar. Period, point blank, the end. If it's not in my calendar, it's not happening, or I don't know about it.
Right.
Because I've released the need to remember things.
Sure.
Because I can't anymore.
Well, it's a lie anyway that we can remember without writing it down, right? Well, so what you've done then, instead of keeping a regular checklist, is you've actually wrapped a structure around yourself to keep you moving forward and productive.
And here's what's funny about that. What's funny is I'm the most disorganized person.
Well, let's not speak that in.
I am. I'm disorganized. I have a lot of things happening and going on.
Yeah.
My desk is a mess, right? But
I would feel at home there, I'm just saying.
but my little system works, for me.
Sure.
So
it does. But you mentioned that you do find checklists periodically here and there that they turn up and that you
They
make.
do.
So you have that propensity to make checklists.
Yes, I do.
Which is a hallmark for people with Achiever.
And then you know what I do? When I do find one, I go and do it.
Oh, because you have to. Your Achiever says you got to go get it done. Yeah. Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then I'm like, oh my God, I was supposed to do this. And so then I just go and do it.
Sure. Now, I want to ask you one more thing, because you mentioned that you actually use Strengths Finder with some of your clients.
Yes.
And so tell us why you do that.
Well, because I want them to release the need to be perfect so that they can focus in their area of strength.
And it goes back to what we said before. People are often beating themselves up for what they can't do.
And here's the thing, I'm not a spreadsheet girl. There's a certain type of brain for whatever reason.
It's called analytical.
And thank goodness for all of you.
Amen.
Right? But
That's right.
But I'm not it.
I'm not either.
And I'm not in a box. I come up with ideas all day long.
Yep.
There's all these things I can do and want to do. And, I'm filming my first film in December.
How exciting.
It is.
Another thing you're producing over here.
Another thing I'm producing.
That's right.
And I love it. But, yeah,
So when you're working with a new client and you see that they're struggling,
yes,
then identifying their talents helps you.
It helps them and it helps me as a coach, because I want them to be successful. And I think sometimes people think that they should be doing all these things as entrepreneurs, especially.
Oh my gosh,
and then they're like,
true.
why can't I do this? Because you're not going to be good at it. You could be okay at it, but you're not going to be good at it. So focus on where you're great at. And if you maximize that, then the people that are great at those other things, they can come in and fill in the gap for you.
Right. Well, and this is what you're mentioning is a notorious problem for entrepreneurs.
It is.
Is they have to do everything, and they have trouble outsourcing. So this test can actually help them figure out the areas in which they must.
Yes,
outsource.
I think it's amazing, and I've referred several people to you for it. I think
Oh,
it's
thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, I've worked with several people. We have some clients in common. So, well, girl, you are a fabulous promoter and influencer. It's something that you do, and that would be your talents of Activator and Woo. And so that's the actual quadrant. We call it the promoter quadrant, and that's where you really like to live.
I do. I like sharing information.
Yes.
And I like sharing, and mostly my information is free information. I like people to be empowered with information they can use to make an impact in their life or business.
Right. So you're not just all about promoting and influencing yourself. You're about promoting and influencing other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's really amazing.
Because here's the truth.
That's that woo.
The truth is, I don't even like the limelight. And people don't really know that.
Yeah.
It makes me cringe.
Really?
It really
Okay.
does.
I've seen you. You're so natural on the stage.
Well, because I understand that there is popularity is a strategy. It's not who I am.
Right.
But I realize that if I'm going to leverage these platforms, that I have to be visible because the message is strong enough.
That's right.
And I'm more connected to the message and the outcome than I am about how I'm feeling about delivering it.
Sure. So this goes back to that obedience that you mentioned.
It's just obedience.
It is. Well, you are awesome. I am so happy that you gave us the opportunity to kind of open up your brain and take a look. So how about if you tell us how we can reach you? Tell our audience where we can find
Absolutely.
you.
So first of all, I just want to say thank you to Rhonda for having me. I appreciate it. We've been wanting to get together, and this was the perfect day.
Thrilled.
I think this is amazing information that everyone should have access to, and they do have access to. So I think that that's awesome, and it's not that expensive either. So
$15.
$15. Go make it happen for yourself.
That's right.
People are posting the link and everything.
Oh,
so,
wonderful.
You can find me right now if you just go to mommyornot.tv.
mommyornot.tv.
Yes, that is the documentary that we are taping for next year.
Wow.
So if you just go to mommyornot.tv, there's some information there about what I'm up to right now, and you can learn more about me and connect with me there. And then also my scopers, shout out to all my periscoping family. Hello to them. I appreciate them for being there.
And how can we find you on Periscope if we want to find you?
Epic Aprille. Epic,
you are epic, girl.
Epic, Aprille.
Yes, and you are that indeed.
Thank you.
So this has been the Activate Your Strength Show. You can find us at www.activateyourstrengths.com. My name again is Rhonda Boyle. You can also find us on Twitter at Activate Strong and on Periscope at Activate Me. So glad you came and joined us today. We'll see you soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Activate Your Strengths with Rhonda Boyle is a presentation of Oklahoma Talking Company. Learn more and listen to other great programs at oklahomatalking.co. This has been a production of Destiny Creative.